everyone. Let's see what the message is for you today. 1, pile 2. This is from your guardian angels. And pile 3. Okay, pile number 1, your card is deserving. You, like all of God's children, deserve happiness, health, and love. Light beings, focus, ask your soul, let go, divine feminine, and soul tree. I did want to note that that was in reverse, and normally don't interpret this in reverse. However, I feel that there is an importance to that, a significance to that. Okay, I'm gonna pull a few more. Yeah, it seems as though you're going through, or you have recently gone through, it honestly, it feels like tragedy. That's how it feels. It feels like you don't feel like you're deserving. It feels like the circumstances seem unfair. It seems like you're wanting to repair something. You're thinking about like what decision to make about something. It feels like just this restrictive energy. Okay. It's mixed messages for me personally, because I'm asking this, and I'm a question in my mind to my guardian angels and yours, and they're responding back to just say the question out loud, which is basically, who here is the one that is, it's like your peace has been disrupted, your peace has been disturbed. It feels like something that I wanted to happen, or I thought was going to happen for me, has been let go. Like this dream, this creative idea, creative project, even like a relationship, or you know, fertility. It's like this wanting of something, desiring of something, and then it being taken away, or it not working. There's something about it not working, and that's also repetitive in this soul tree of being reversed, of feeling kind of disowned from family, whether this is your soul family or from the spirit, or again, you wanting to repair something. It's like, I want to make this work again, or I want to make this work in the first place. I want to do it right this time, or is there something that I can do to make this better? What can I do to kind of get a handle on this situation so that I can, it's not about feeling in control and feeling safe in that situation. It's like genuinely wanting things to work out and to make things right. And what I'm seeing is that it's like you're asking for help. You're asking for outside help, whether this is prayer or you're asking other people, like someone of authority that can help you, or friends, right? Like it's just someone that has some sort of other information for you where they can help you, or like medical intervention, like whatever it is. And what I'm seeing is that the answer that's coming back is that the worst is almost over. It's almost over. Just stay working towards what it is that you're moving towards. Stay doing that. Stay true to that vision that you have, that goal that you have, that dream that you have, in its most purest, simplest, sincere form, right? It's like, an example is if you were trying for a baby and it's not working, it's like, what's the sincere, truest form of why you want to conceive? It's because you love your partner so dearly that you feel this connection with them that, you know, you want to expand on, right? It's like you want to share this mutual creation with your partner and thus have a baby, right? And have this like family, because there are going to be you're gonna receive those answers. You're gonna receive that information. You're gonna receive the proper advice or direction to go. But I'm seeing in my mind, I'm seeing the Six of Swords. And the way that I'm seeing the Six of Swords is how it's like this woman and a child and all their necessary belongings with them, right? Let me see. I actually have a deck right here and see if I can find it. But they're bringing all their belongings with them on this voyage to this new land. But the way I'm seeing the land for you is like this new vision, or like this new promise. Like you're gonna receive it, but it comes in a way that's in the most pure, sincere form. So it's like maybe you're not getting exactly the idea that you were attached to, but that's not what you wanted. You created that idea because that's something that you felt matched what it is that your desires. So it is coming to you. But it's coming to you better. You know, it's coming to you in a more gratifying way. And it may not make sense now, but it's going to make sense. It's going to make sense very soon. See, here's the card, the Six of Swords. And I see this here. It's like you have already gone through the most destructive path in here, the storm, like the most difficult part you've already gone through. But that's not to undervalue how difficult it is to pack your things after going through a storm, only your necessary things, and then having to restart completely like somewhere else, right? And so that is being acknowledged here, but it's in a different way, right? It's more a mental battle now than anything, and a mental shift. Yeah, The Five of Swords. That's where you were. That's where you were. It's after the battle. And now here it's showing like you gathering your things. Saying, okay, well, I need to be prepared for what's next. Eight of Cups. Again, you're walking away. You're walking away. And there's this desire to kind of hold on to that idea. And a spirit is saying there's much bigger plans in store for you. You don't see it right now. And even that, there's a reason for you not being able to fully perceive that. There's a reason why. It's almost as if they don't want your ego to attach to this new journey that you're going to go down. Like, it should be completely just unknown to you. It should be uncharted territory for you. It should be this brand new start for you. But it's what you're meant to do. This path that you're going down is really your sincere calling. But you don't see it right now. This change is supposed to be happening for you. And just, again, it's new horizons. It's new horizons for you. I would look into the spiritual meaning of an emerald, because I am being drawn to the green here, and I heard specifically emerald and the spiritual meaning of emerald. And I am, the moon here, saying, it's signifying to me, how do you want to perceive the moon? You see it in between its cycle, kind of like in here, you can see it in between its cycle. So how do you perceive it? Do you see it as on its way to a new moon or on its way to a full moon? And the spiritual significance to that, right? It's like, do you see it as the beginnings of something or letting go of something? It all just depends on your perception, but that's not to say that it's such an easy task for you to do, because you've already been through such a difficult shift in life. It feels very difficult. It feels like this has been going on a long time, honestly. Like, whatever this is not something that's just suddenly. Sorry if you can hear my voice changing. I'm just like walking around as I'm talking to you guys. Yeah, so this feels like this has been ongoing. Probably for a lot of you, it's probably been going on for years. A lot of months to years. Closer to years to me. And it's like you wanting help, and you don't see how big of a blessing that this change is gonna make for you, because it feels like you're already, again, moving in that direction. It's not like you're kind of in the middle. Like it's a lot to handle is how it feels. It's like you already handled something, so now you're going on to this shift, and it feels like you're aware, like it's a sense of relief, but it's also mixed emotions. And what I'm seeing and what I'm feeling, what is being told to me, is you don't see, and you're not supposed to see, And so that's why it's not coming, the way I'm saying it is probably not going to be specific. I can't tell you exactly what, and I genuinely don't think if you tried to figure this out yourself, you would ever be able to figure it out, because it's going to be blocked from you and from anyone who tries to find this for you. And honestly, I think that hearing this is going to make you feel like I don't even want to know, because I want to be surprised. I want this gift given to me, and you know, gifts, you normally don't know what the gift is. It's like you don't see the magnitude, the capacity of joy and enjoyment that you're going to receive, like falling into all of you. This is the way I'm saying it, is like all of you, like every facet of your life. It's as if someone is helping you, right? Like, let's say, a different example, let's say that you have to go to the doctor for something, and you know, you're filing for insurance, or I don't know, like something like that, right? And there's like this donation that's like sent in for everyone, like some secret donation that came in. So it's like everyone receives a certain amount off of all of their medical expenses, and you're like, wow, that really helps. And then you don't even realize that, like, that, whatever kind of bigger impact that leaves you, it's like you actually don't even see that maybe, like, let's say, this is a ridiculous story that I'm gonna give, but this is what I see. It's like, you're like, I saved $5,000 on my medical bill, so I'm gonna use $5 and go pay, like, go buy the lottery, and then you win the lottery, and then you go and repay it the same way, except even more, because you have so much money. It's like overabundance upon abundance, and you just have no idea. You just have no idea. It's literally, I'm gonna say literally a lottery, but it's like literally like a lottery. And honestly, I was actually hearing this several days ago, and I wrote it down. I didn't know how it's relevant, and I can see how it's relevant here, of literal lottery. So I don't know, maybe you are playing the lottery, but anyway, responsibly, right? And I just see, this feeling from you of being in this point. It's almost a dark point, but I really don't want to say it that much, because I don't know how intense it is for all of you. But it just feels like a low point where normally you would be a little bit more guarded about receiving this help. It's like you really want the help, but maybe your pride would get in the way normally, and you would reject it, even though deep down you would actually want their help. And so, and this could also, I'm seeing another story that's like very simple, where it's like you're carrying too many groceries and you have no idea, but the love of your life is asking you to help you carry your groceries, and normally you would say no, but it's actually extremely heavy for you, so you allow them to help you, and where this takes you is somewhere beautiful. Once again, responsibly allowing people to help you, but you get the gist of it. The message here is really that you deserve what's gonna come in for you, and you're very, it's the way that they're saying is like you're very lucky that you're in this predicament in order to be able to receive this, because you normally wouldn't do it. You normally would not allow this to happen because of pride or feeling like humble And yet, because of the situation that you're in, you just allow it to happen. It's like one of those moments where you're like, okay, like, I need it. Okay, whatever it takes, because I'm exhausted. And it turns out that this is really your moment. It's like, it's not divine intervention. There was nothing to intervene here. It's just what you deserve. It's what you deserve. And it just starts piling up and piling them up and piling up of blessings for you. So that's what I see for you guys. That's your message today. It came to you for a reason. So hopefully this received you in the way it should. Look up the spiritual meaning of emerald. And I'll see you guys later. Bye. Hi, pal number 2. Let's see what your message is. We have open your heart to love. The more you open your heart and pour your love into your creations, the greater their life force energy. That is so true for you. I feel you are a really creative person. And I'm seeing this person on a stage. It's like you are meant to shine. You are meant to be in front of people, whether you're in performing arts or you are, it's like a creative project, creative writing. It feels, it could even be fashion, but what it feels like is something in the material world, driven by your creative mind. And it feels more like putting your words out there. That's what it feels like. It could be fashion, but I'm really drawn more towards your writings, performing, like an actress, or like a spoken poetry or musician. It feels like you're in front of people. It feels, if it's fashion, more fashion related, I could see you being a model, or even just like on social media, like something like that. That's what I feel. And this is something that you've either been working on or you've just kind of been toying with the idea, and it's pulling at you and pulling at you and pulling at you. And now it's showing up in your pick a card reading. And you're like, okay, obviously this is meaning something, right? Which I would agree. I kind of want to zoom out here. Give myself a little more space. Have a little mug there. Okay. I'm seeing your guardian angels pushing you to say, like, just go ahead and get started. Like, go ahead and do it. And they're saying, like, a good way to kind of transfer this energy, you know, this is, the more that you open your heart and you pour your love into your creations, the greater their life force energy. And what I'm seeing is, are you putting things in your way? Like, are you creating obstacles for yourself? What is the reason why you're not doing it? Just go ahead and get started. And if you have a legitimate, in quotes, reason why, and then you're like, let's say, okay, here's an example. Let's say you want to be an Instagram model. I was gonna say TikTok, but I believe Instagram pays more. So let's say you want to be an Instagram model. And you're like, you know what, I really want to, but I have the most perfect room that I would start filming in, and it's just not clean. And every time I get ready to go clean this room, you know, I get really tired. And so I don't get around to doing it. Number one, you can go to a different room. You don't have to be bound to the room just because you made that idea that was perfect for you. You can even go outside if you really wanted to. But if that's so necessary for you, then what you can do is wherever you're creating these ideas, let's say that you're like writing everything down so that you have everything planned, and that gives you a burst of energy because you're being pulled to do this. You're pulled to this direction. So go do that, and as you are riding that wave of joy and contentment and feeling in the moment of whatever it is that you're supposed to do, use that energy, transfer that energy into cleaning the room. Don't give yourself excuses. And if you legitimately get tired because it's overwhelming and you're kind of like lost, that is a good way to transfer that energy so that you are being genuine. You are being genuine to your path. You're being sincere to your path, which I'm not saying that you aren't, but you have to get it done. Our guardian angels are saying, like, you gotta do it. What are you doing? Just get started. You're so ready. Like, people are waiting. The audience is on the edge of their seats. So we have orphaned reversed. Yeah. Come to the edge reversed. Higher power reversed. Yang in reversed. Deep and knowing. You are avoiding so much whatever it is that you really feel so pulled to do. There's gotta be a way for you to just get started. There's gotta be a way. Just think outside of the box. There has to be a way. You're supposed to do whatever this is. You're supposed to. Because the way that they're saying is like, orphan, they're like turning, they want you to turn it around, right? They don't want you to be orphaned. They don't want you to be alone. There is this fear, now that I turn it right side up and I can see, she looks like she's in a little party hat and she's by herself and she's just, it's like nobody showed up to her party. So she thought. That's the story, is like she thought that no one showed up. Okay, let's say her party was at 5 p.m. It is 3:15. She's been getting ready all day. And 3:15 comes around and she just has her mind made up that nobody's going to show up. She can already see it now. And she's like, when I go places, I text them ahead of time. I'm sending them pictures. I'm letting them know everything. I'm going to come there at 4:30. So I want them to be prepared for me because, I want them to know that I'm early and I just don't, like all these things. And so she just runs off into the woods and cries in her party suit, her party dress. And she has no idea everybody's there. Everybody showed up. They just didn't do it in the way that she thought. And she had this idea set in her mind that things were going to fail, that they weren't going to love her, they weren't going to show up, that they, all of these different things that just were running through her mind, probably because of seeds planted, weed seed, like bad seed plants, like invasive species planted in her garden, the garden of her mind. And it's time to really just go through it and remove those plants from the roots. Get that out of there. Because, yeah, maybe not everyone's going to show up, right? Maybe not everyone's going to enjoy the way that you decorated your party. All kinds of different things. But it's not the point. The point is that you wanted to do something to celebrate your birthday. You chose the people that you enjoy and you love to be surrounded by you. And, you know, if they decide that they're going to be not very nice, then more power to you to realizing who does not deserve to be at your party anymore, who does not deserve to be in your life anymore. Like, look at the positive aspect of that. And also, don't set yourself up in your mind for all the potential things that could be traps, like booby traps for you. Don't set those up for yourself, because it's not necessary. It's not necessary. There's already enough drama in the world from other people that you don't need to carry those examples of how they are into your own garden, into your own mind. You don't have to do that to yourself. You're perfect the way you are. Your guardian angels are telling you to come to the edge. They're like, come back to your party. You know, like, have fun. You don't even have to explain to anyone why you were gone. You don't have to do any of that. I mean, unless you want to, you can, but just show up, have fun. Like, while you're out there, you got a little dirty, so grab some rose petals and come in there and just throw them. No one's gonna know. You know, it's like when people bake, and it's like, you don't have to tell people that you made a mistake. Let them just believe that that's the way it was supposed to be made this time, you know? It's like, just roll with it. You don't have to focus on the way that things you thought were supposed to end up. Have a little fun with the process. The higher power is, again, like, you're denying yourself of these it's simplistic in nature, these like simple pleasures, because it's so easily there and so easily like ready for you. It's like everyone's waiting. You are the star of the show. You are the birthday host, or like the person who has a birthday. They're there for you. We're here for you, is what your guardian angels are saying, and everyone's here for you. You have to see that reality. You have to see that reality. And again, not everyone's going to appreciate your work. Not everyone's going to like your work. And that's actually normal. If you go to an apple tree and you pick all the apples, not every single one's going to be the most perfect apple. There's going to be some that are in you know, have holes in them, or they're going to be rotten. They're not going to be ready, and some that are been on there for too long and for some reason didn't fall off. You know, there are reasons for that, and it's reasons that actually are beneficial in some way that you don't even have to bother with, right? Like, it doesn't matter. It's beneficial in their world. It does not matter. What you're there for is to gather those apples for your apple pie and be done with, right? You don't have to worry about all the other people who don't like apples. You don't have to worry about the people who don't like apple pie. You don't have to worry about the little worm that's in some of the apples that are on the tree, or the fallen ones. You focus on you. You focus on what you enjoy, and the people that enjoy apple pie are gonna enjoy it. They're gonna love it. They're gonna appreciate it. Yang, it's reversed because I feel like this is stuck energy. You're stuck energy. And that's probably why you keep getting exhausted when you think about doing whatever it is that you need to get done, in quotes, you need to get done in order to do this next step, is because it's stuck energy. It's built up energy that needs to be released. You need to take action towards your dreams. You need to start on your dreams. You need to work on your dreams and connect to your intuition. You're denying spirit and you're denying intuition in some way. You're kind of like, you're not rejecting it necessarily, but you're pushing it away. You're denying that connection to some capacity, to some degree, by doing that. Channeling, soul love, Soulcraft. I swear Soul Song is at the bottom. I swear to you, before I pull this out, I knew that was going to come out. I heard it before it came out. And this is exactly like channeling when it comes to creating, working on your craft, working on your passions. That's exactly what happens. That's exactly what happens. You're channeling these higher realms. You're channeling God. You're channeling these divine worlds and beings, and really connecting. I mean, this is just gorgeous. You are going to be so happy. Swallow the sun. You're literally just gonna swallow up the sun. You're just, I love swallowtail kites too. I think that's a swallowtail kite. And when I see them, I get so excited. I think you're still supposed to be reporting them if you see them, but I get so extraordinarily excited to see these kites because they were rare, or they are still rare, and the way that they fly. Maybe look into the spiritual meaning of swallowtail kites. I don't know what it is. But even just the way that they glide, it's just so beautiful. They are just so incredibly beautiful and majestic. The way they fly is just so interesting. And I also see their tails, as indicative of two choices. You have two choices. You have two paths, right? You can go the path of least resistance, which in truth, it feels like, okay, let me finish the story. The least resistance, or resisting forever, the most resistance. The path of least resistance is going towards everything that we're talking about here. Your journey through life that is really going to connect you so deeply to your passions and where you're supposed to be and who you're supposed to become. And everyone just sit there in awe and appreciation of all the things that you create and think and dream of and imagine and then bring to life for everybody. And at first, it's like going down this really bumpy road that's like has a really high inclination, like it just going. And so you're like, do I want to go through that? Because it's going to be very bumpy to get started, and it's going to be a very difficult terrain because this is your mental roadblocks that you keep adding on, right? Which is fine. This is something that we all go through to varying degrees. So But to know, I mean, that's empowering in itself, to know that this is something that you can overcome. And this is just a mental state, right? It's just a mental state. You don't need to attach the labels that people put on you. You don't need to care about what other people think about you or any of that. That has nothing to do with you. And they're not going to be there for you even if you succeed. Nothing will please, you can't please everyone, right? So it's like the people that are just, if they don't matter, let them never matter, right? Or you can go down the path that is very self-destructive, like soul draining. It's going to drain you because it's not what you want to do. It's not what fulfills you. It is not what makes you happy. It is not what makes you feel like you are fulfilling your dreams, your greatest dream, your greatest desire. But I know what you're going to pick. You're going to pick to nurture yourself. You're going to pick to invest time in self-care now. It says it will yield more energy for you later. And I see her literally again with the books. Again with the books. I don't know. Something about a book. I just see her being like, literally like to some person like, no, I'm busy, do not distract me, I am doing what I need to do, because I want to, and so just don't bother me right now, please. Appreciate it, love you. There you go. There you go. And we have editor at the bottom, again, with a typewriter and a book. It says your writing or other creative project benefits from outside help and support. So there you have it. And lastly, listen only to love. Don't allow fear to distract you from your divine mission. And I see this, like, the story I'm getting here is the orphan, right? She's like going through the woods. She's running through the woods on her birthday party, and she's, you know, doing the whole story that I was talking about. And then she comes across this cocoon, or what she believes is a cocoon. It's like a lotus cocoon, or locust cocoon. She's like, why is that? Isn't that supposed to be underground? You know, or it's like the skeleton of a cocoon, and it's like, bam, is this person. She's like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, who is that? Like, she's scared. She's like, what is going on? She's like holding her heart. And then it's like your guardian angel, and they're like, you need to turn around. You need to stop that. You need to turn around. Go home. Go home to your party and enjoy. And then you're like, oh gosh, I better just go ahead and do that, because that's really weird. And you go back, and everything's like literally plays out as beautifully as it should, as you deserve. Yeah. And I do see a lot of wisdom to gain from you. People have a lot of wisdom to gain from you by watching you in your craft, watching you do what you love, watching you channel in this beautiful information that comes from you focusing on what it is that you truly love. Because it radiates. When people are really in their element, it radiates. It's so inspirational to see. It's so beautiful to see. All right. That's it. Bye, guys. Pile number 3. Let's see what your card is. Time management. Okay, why? Why time management? 2. Place your priorities at the top of your to-do list and do not allow distractions to deter your focus. I'm hearing that you have a lot to do before the new year. Depending on when you're watching this, I don't know, but it's like you need to get on your goals and get it done. The things that you really decided that you were going to do, you need to go ahead and get on that. Why? I mean, other than like, obviously, why? I mean, you have reasons yourself, but there's got to be something else. I think someone's going to come in for you. If you're expecting, it's like an old friend, someone from your past. It's like if someone, it's like, oh, you know, I've been meaning to, you know, seal up the holes in my house or something. I don't know. Something. And then you just keep putting it off, you know, or I need to tend to the garden. I'll do it. And then, like, your best friend from, like, childhood shows up out of the blue. And it's like, hey, I'm gonna stay with you for a couple days, love you. And you're like, oh my gosh. You know, it doesn't matter. This is like a trivial situation, like, story that I'm telling you. So just make it apply where it makes sense. But you know, you don't need to have your garden done. Maybe if you had holes in the wall, you should probably, it is like the bedroom that they would have to stay in. You have like a big gaping wall open. We'll use that because that's not trivial. And you're like, oh my goodness, you know, if I would have put that wall up in the house, you'd be a lot more comfortable. And so there's something from your past that's going to be showing back up. Pleasantly. It's a pleasant surprise, and it actually does feel like a person. And I'm seeing flowers, like they're presenting you with flowers, so it's like they're celebrating something with you, or they want to ask for your forgiveness, or they're trying to like woo you, you know, they want to they see potential in something down the line with you, but it feels like someone that you already know. You previously had some sort of connection with them to some capacity, or it's like a revisit. It's a revisiting. I'm sure of this, of someone from the past, and you would feel much better. I'll just say that you'll feel much more comfortable if you get the things that in order that you said yourself that you're going to get in order, because then you don't have all that going on in your mind, and you don't have all this stuff of like, if I would have done that, you know, then whatever stuff like that. Okay, let's see. Milk and honey, time to go, and they're both in reverse. What do I see here? It feels like you're denying yourself, right? Like with the milk and honey reversed and time to go reversed, it feels like it's like you're wasting, I don't want to say you're wasting time necessarily. There's a reason for this, okay? Like don't put unnecessary pressure on yourself, okay? Don't do that. There's a reason why there was a delay and why you felt the need to put this off. So have a realistic goal or restructure your goals because of the time that you have spent elsewhere. Restructure it, because again, there are two things that I am really being drawn to, is someone from the past and travel being involved. Whether this is planning to travel with them, someone planning to travel to you, maybe out of the blue. And this is, I'm going to tell you this example because it's showing up very strongly, where I had a situation similar to this where I was like, it's petty, but I was like, I want to be, like I want to have a certain physique by a certain time. And so by that time, I'll feel more comfortable, traveling or whatever, right? And I put it off. I didn't put it off. I was still working out, but I didn't work out with a purpose. It's better if you work out with a purpose, because then you're just kind of messing around. That was basically what I was doing. And so nothing really changed. But then I was actually like meditating constantly, you know, and I kept getting messages. It was very similar but different to this, where they're like, my guardian angels are like, you're gonna be going places somewhere, and you're gonna be showing, you know, all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, I'm not, you know, there's no way. I already know what I'm planning to do, and I'm not gonna go anywhere until I get to this particular physique. So it doesn't matter. And then this is like years ago, okay? So then I started getting this feeling that someone was gonna show up, and I kept like I would hold myself up in the house because I'm like, I do not want to run into them. Like I just felt their energy around me, and it turns out that they were nearby, and I completely avoided them. I'm like, I just didn't feel comfortable, okay? And so that's one story. Another story similar to this is, you know, with the traveling, is they were telling me, this is like, it's still the same story, I guess, but that was like the first instance. And then the next instance, they're saying, you're going to travel. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And then out of the blue, I found this event that I wanted to go to that was a week away, and I booked it. I booked the flight, I booked the event, I booked everything, and I'm like, well, you know what, I just have to accept where I'm at that time. Like, I just have to accept it and do my best, and realize, like, it did restructure my mind, because I'm like, you know what, I'm being way too harsh on myself, and I didn't need to change anything because I'm healthy. But it's just nice to have goals, I guess. But I was just being a little vain, I guess. But why I'm telling you this, that could be very similar to you, but I see it as coming out of the blue. So this could be like something a lot less, you know, vain than me, my situation. Like you could actually have a hole in the wall or something, you know, like something that needs to get done. But it's to the point that there are little simple pleasures that are probably coming through and coming in that you are not able to accept because you have to get other things done. And they're saying you need to be aware of this because while you're not going to regret it, because I don't, like me, I don't regret not seeing that person and like all this stuff. Like there's no regret in there. I'm very grateful because, like for my example, when I traveled, I was really grateful because then that restructured my mind to be like, you know what, you're being way too hard on yourself. You're losing yourself in this idea of what you should be or how you should look, when in fact you knew the truth, and you know the truth that you're, you know, you are who, like, you're beautiful regardless, you know, it doesn't matter. And to kind of satisfy that within me, right? And so I see that here where it's like there is a positive aspect of this, of restructuring it, and why it was the way it is. But at some point you need to start moving towards your goals, and you need to start ticking those off the list, okay? You need to start doing that. And someone is going to come in from the past, and you want to be able to be at a frame of mind and financially or whatever it is, in order for you to accept this offer, or for you to be open to this potential, whatever this means for you. This could even be a job offer coming in, right? If you applied somewhere and they didn't have any position suitable for you, and then they come back up out of the blue asking if you're available because someone has, you know, moved on to another company, and they're asking to add you on. Are you ready now to be able to accept that offer? What is it that you need to get done in order for you to be liberated from those necessary tasks that can easily be resolved over a period of time? Insight. Soul family. So your guardian angels want you to know that you are being helped on this. Maybe this is a question that you have. Like maybe you feel alone in this, or you feel like, again, like held back in some way, or like you're wanting something good to happen. I don't know, it's something like, because the way it's feeling here is blocked energy, but it's blocked your chakras are blocked. And I'm seeing this specifically, like these lower chakras, and it's like all this wisdom or information's coming through, and then you're just kind of piling it up, because it's this feeling of, I don't know, it's this feeling of being without or being alone. or being separate. That's how it feels. Soul tree, let go, divine masculine. Inward revolution. I would not be surprised if the reason why I share that story about me is because maybe this is some sort of physical change that you are wanting to work towards, and then me saying at the beginning, you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta get ready, you know? And ultimately, like, what I gained from my experience is that inward revolution, right? It's like, I knew this, like, I've done a video, My Body is a Temple, and this happened prior to that video, but even then, it's like, I know that we chose our body for a reason. I know that we don't have to attribute all of these, like, ideas onto ourselves of, like, what's worthy or what's beautiful, all of that, you know. And sometimes I'm, like, guilty of, like, getting in the way of my own, you know, it's like vanity gets a hold of me from time to time too. And so, you know, if you're in good health, if you're really in good health, then honestly, that it's not, you're not unworthy of love. You're not unworthy of an experience. You're not unworthy, or you are ready. You are ready to have those experiences. But you will feel more comfortable if you start working towards it, if it's in a healthy manner, right? I didn't start doubling down on my physique, well, doubling down, but working towards my goals in a more structured way and in a more healthy way until I was able to resolve that within me, that I was fine irregardless. It didn't matter the way I looked. And so there was probably a reason for me to just kind of spin my wheels in the way that I was exercising and eating, that kept me in that particular place. It was because I needed to resolve that internally before, you know, like, imagine if I didn't come to that conclusion, I just kept going and going, and then I work out, you know, I get to my physique, and, like, when does it stop? When do I have that inward revolution? I mean, it would probably happen if it was meant to, but basically that's what I'm saying is, like, it's the divine masculine, like, sure, maybe there's a divine partner coming in for you. If that's something that you anticipate, that's something that you feel, if it's someone that you've already known and that you feel like there's a romantic connection there. What I really see here, I mean, and that would also explain a little bit more of the soul tree coming through too, right? Soul tree both ways. Soul tree and SULTRY. But I see this as letting go of all of the suppressed emotions that you're pushing down into your chakras, lower chakras, and how this masculine is this, you're burning yourself out by being so in your masculinity, like energetically, you're pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing towards this particular goal, and it's not going the way that you imagine it. It's like the harder you try, the further away from your goals it seems. Or it's like the harder you try and you're seeing very little progress. It's like, reduce the reins a little bit, like untighten the reins a little and let things flow, let it go, right? Just and look inwardly. Give yourself some space, meditate a little bit, and reconnect with your guardian angels, because they are communicating with you, they are working with you. And when you rediscover the reason why things are working the way they are, you're going to get a better handle on how to manage your time better, because it is going to be restructured in a healthy manner. And you're going to prepare yourself for what is coming in for you. And you can guarantee that when that happens, you're going to feel more empowered and ready. And you're not going to be at the place that you thought financially. You're not going to be at the place you thought, physically, or even like where you're living physically. There's something that's not going to be the way that you kept trying to push yourself to be, because that's not meant for you right then. Like, you can have that, you can achieve that, but in the moment that this is supposed to happen for you, this person's going to come in from the past, this event's going to happen from the past. The most important thing is to have your mindset where it needs to be. It's not about that end goal, right? And whatever you're doing in the meantime as a means to that end. It's actually this journey that's going to really strengthen it's like developing you. It's developing you so that you can really power through any obstacle that comes next, and not just get to your expectations, but exceed your expectations. You're going to have all the tools that you need in order to get what it is that you want. So I hope that makes sense. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.